This is an open meeting under section 19.81, 19.98 of the Wisconsin State Statutes. You all have April's meeting minutes in front of you. Do you see any need for correction? Hearing none.
Motion
Anyone
to
in-
approve.
Motion to approve by Ken,
Second?
second by Joel.
Sounds good.
All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved. Monthly staff reports.
Yes. Overall, programming-wise, took a step back from one reason or another from the previous year. Otherwise, admittance and use of the Indoor Aquatic Center and memberships, those were all up, in some cases quite a bit, with our miscellaneous, which includes our attendance, choir, golf simulator, room rentals, that was up almost 1,000 from last year. And I like seeing the memberships up as well from a year ago, so that's continuing to trend upwards as well.
It's great to see, even though we have some, up-and-coming facilities here in Hartford, and some existing facilities, but it's
Yep.
great to see the membership growing. Any other comments or questions for staff on these? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to communication and correspondence. And Randy, you have something on
Yes,
correspondence?
I do. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce Emma Lemke, who's sitting at the table next to Melanie. Emma has served as our intern the past 3 months. Emma is a student at Moraine Park Technical College, studying health and wellness with a focus on personal training, CT, CRT, and wellness coaching. Did I miss anything?
Nope, you got it all.
Emma is graduating this spring and moving on, not really moving on, but continuing her education at Mount Mary, where she's currently also taking classes, and there she's in the sports dietitian program. Emma has worked for us on Fridays, where she worked all day long, and Saturday mornings. She observed and helped lead our Silver Fit programs, as well as water aerobics. She assisted all 3 managers with various tasks, and we tried to give Emma an overall experience of what working for our department and in our department was like. So, and this is her last assignment tonight, was attending one of our meetings. So we wish her the best, and we hope to remain in contact. We talked a little bit about that before the meeting. She offered up to continue on as a substitute water aerobics instructor. She liked that. And, yeah, we hope to hang on to her. She's a quality person. She worked really hard. One of the things about our department is the atmosphere and the type of personality that we bring. When we hired Carrie, that was a big part of it, and she's been a great fit. And we got lucky with Emma. She would go right along with that. A good personality, warm heart, cared about the other people she worked with, cared about the people she instructed. So wish we had her longer, but we wish her the best.
Well, thank you for
Good
that.
luck, Emma.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emma.
Thanks, Emma.
All right, appearances of public comments, we have none. No old business, new business administration. First off is the commission's mayoral appointments.
Yes, Mayor Regan has reappointed Todd Rusniak, Dan Hummel, and Kate Carroll to new 3-year terms. And Alderperson Kohler will be our aldermanic rep for another year. So thank you for continuing to serve. I appreciate having all of you. John Klobachek has decided to step down. I wanted to thank John for his time and commitment to not only the commission, but through the years he's helped us out with programming, namely football. I believe he's helped out with baseball in the past as well. So that was a long-term relationship there with John, and I did reach out personally to let him know all this. So appreciate the support he gave our program and our commission. And with that, we do have a new commissioner. To my left is Chris Becker. Chris comes to us, obviously a Hartford resident. He's married to his wife Liz. He has 2 young kids.
Yep, 3 and 6.
3 and 6. He has an interest in our department. He's helps as a volunteer baseball coach I know he was an avid watcher of our telecasts,
A little bit of
so
a political nerd.
bit of a political nerd. Anyway, I want to welcome Chris. I know he'll be a great asset to our board, and I look forward to his contributions.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks.
Welcome, Chris.
Thanks.
Chris.
All right, next up is election of officers. And at this time, I'm looking for a nomination from the floor for the office of President of the City of Hartford's Park and Recreation Commission.
I'll nominate Todd Resniak.
I'll second that nomination.
All right, thank you, guys. Are there any other nominations from the floor for the office of President? Are there any other nominations from the floor for the office of President of the City of Hartford's Park and Rec Commission? Hearing none, nominations are now closed. Any discussion? All in favor of me for the office of President of the City of Hartford's Park
Did
and
you
Rec
accept?
Commission? I do accept.
Okay.
I do accept. Thank you, guys. All in favor of me for the office of President of the City of Hartford's Park and Rec Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd.
All right, at this time, is there a nomination from the floor for the office of Vice President for the City of Hartford's Park and Rec Commission?
I'll nominate Scott Helms.
Thank you, Joel.
Second.
Second by
Dan.
Dan. Are there any other nominations from the floor for the office of Vice President of the City of Hartford's Park and Rec Commission? Are there any other nominations from the floor for the office of Vice President of the City of Hartford's Park and Rec Commission? Hearing none, nominations are closed. Scott, do you accept?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, any other discussion on Scott, or his appointment, or his position? Hearing none, all in favor of Scott Helms for the office of Vice President of the City of Hartford's Park and Rec Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries as well. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone, for your vote of confidence. Appreciate it. All right. Thankfully, we have that out of the way.
Hey, Todd, can I make a comment on that?
Yeah.
So, so look, I appreciate you guys stepping into that role, and I'm always, I've been on the commission for a bit, and I'd be willing to do that. I'm always concerned that I'm gonna be out of town, or because my business is just, I can be anywhere, but just if you guys ever can't make it or whatever, consider me that I'm happy to run a meeting or to do that. So I don't wanna make it, I don't feel that, these things should just be laid off, on you guys, and you've been great about that. So I just want you to know that, that there's a backup to the backup, so.
Really appreciate that,
All right,
Tom.
thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, next up is recommendation to, an executive summary and recommendation to approve a fencing contractor award for the pickleball courts.
Yes, as part of the overall pickleball construction project, staff solicited quotes for a 10-foot-high fence around the perimeter of the courts and a 4-foot-high interior divider fence within the court system itself. The quotes included gates and an alternate bid for black vinyl coating to the fencing. Century Fence of Pewaukee, Wisconsin came in with a low bid at $39,820. Staff recommends the approval of Century Fence's bid for this amount, which will include the black vinyl coating as the alternate. Century Fence was the most involved in the process. They asked the most questions. They took the time. They gave me a call. Got very specific with the project as well. So I do appreciate my rep for that and help me walk through the process. Century Fence is well-established, reputable company that the city has worked with in the past. And as I previously mentioned, they were the low bid. So with that, we are recommending the quote from Century Fence.
Any questions on the executive summary, guys?
Have we done any business with them before? Is this the first time?
So I know it's not the first time. Ironically, when I was looking for my rep's name, I came across my previous stint here. where they had bid, and I believe they got one of the jobs for the baseball backstops.
Sure. Okay.
The project that Mike had put me in charge of back in, I think the date was 2016.
Down at Indy.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Any other questions or comments, guys? All right, hearing none, what's your pleasure here?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Ken to approve the executive summary.
I'll second.
Second by Chris. Any other comments or discussion?
Randy, when will they go in shortly after it's finished?
So I won't officially know the timeline of there until it gets approved by council next week. With that, he does know our timeline. We want to bring them in after the completion of the painting of the courts. We want everything done before they come in. So Pablaki's timeline was probably mid to late June, depending on whether they would come in. So Century knows our timeline. That said, this wouldn't delay the opening of the courts. We can certainly play without fences. Obviously, we want to get them in as soon as possible. So they'd fit us into their schedule, and they know our timeline. But like I said, it wouldn't delay anything. It would just be a matter of a bit of a closing of the courts to get the fences installed.
Are the fences going in prior to, after we put the nets up as well? So nets will be on, paint and nets and then fence?
So
is
the
that kind
net,
of
as a
idea?
reminder, the nets are portable.
Okay. that's
So
right.
yes, to answer your question, it will be after the nets are in.
Right.
But there's no work other than our staff to construct the net
Okay.
frames themselves.
Sounds good.
Any other questions or comments, guys? All right, we have a motion and second. All in favor of approval of staff's recommendation to contract with Century Fence at a total cost not to exceed $39,820, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Summer activity guide.
Activity guide is included in your packet. We do have open registration going on for all of our activities. I want to thank the staff, Sarah, Melanie, and Zach, for their contributions. They work really hard on that. I remember what it's like to try to get that all situated and organized. Luckily now I just get to sit back and review it and nitpick once in a while, but not too often. But as I said, that's out. It's live on our website. You can also find it there. And all programming is open for registration.
All right. And closing on Mother's Day of the Rec Center.
Yes, Mother's Day has traditionally been one of our toughest days to schedule, and that's any day of the year, including right around holidays. Mother's Day has been the toughest, and it's also been one of our lowest attended days as well. So with that, in order to give our staff the opportunity to be with their mothers and or honor their mothers, we will close the rec center on Sunday, May 11th. We do apologize for any inconvenience this causes, but I feel like this is a just case to when we will close. And you know us, we rarely close our facility, even for adverse weather. We're one of the last city departments, I'm proud to say, to close. Yeah, Mother's Day is Mother's Day. That one's tough to top.
Absolutely right.
Good call.
Yep, absolutely. Moving on to rec programs and activities, we have a summer staffing report.
So at this time, I have a bunch of young and inexperienced umpires, but I have umpires, so that's good. Hopefully they're, willing to keep going year after year and they kind of keep going with it. We do have a couple, returners, so that's good. Hopefully we can kind of keep up with that. I am in need of, a tennis instructor, so both for youth and for adult. So if anyone knows of anyone, please send them my way. And we are still looking for a couple playground leaders. I do have a playground supervisor. She's a returning staff from last year, Catherine. She's gonna do great. She's an education major. She was great last year with the kids. Looking like it's gonna be a great summer with her, but we do need, more than just her at the playground. So we are looking for a couple more. I had interviews with 2 potential candidates this last couple weeks. One of them's looking for more part-time work, so hopefully I can get at least one more closer to full-time. And then I do have one person who's been emailing me that's been interested as well. So hopefully in the next week or two, that turns around and we can find some people. Finally, I am looking for concessions. My concessions worker from the last couple of years, he is now also working at the front desk of the rec center. So he's going to be kind of splitting time with me. So I am looking for a few more concessions people as well for the summer. So that's kind of where we are with staffing.
I don't ever advocate from stealing from other departments within our department, but if you're struggling in those 2 areas, I might know someone that would be willing. I can't say that for sure,
Okay,
but be able to help you out.
sounds good.
Mel, with respect to the umpires, how many of those umpires attended that clinic that you guys had?
Either last year or this year. I have 12 umpires. I know at least 3 of them attended this year and 2 attended last year. So I think I only had about 5. One of them said they were going to go, but they didn't go. I don't know if something just came up. And then one wanted to go, but was out of town. So it's kind of that, the one day. And the rest of them didn't think about being an umpire until last week. So that didn't help either. So a little bit of a handful. I do reach out to Bud, or I did in the past, to just kind of ask him for resources. And he did give me a website that they can, kind of reference a little bit better that I send to them to make sure that they aren't going in blind. And then Izzy's taken the class before, and as a youth ball coordinator, she can help them through too. So
Okay. Sounds good. Fitness classes, summer schedule for them.
That'll be me without Zach here. Fitness classes, we are offering a variety of fitness classes this summer, including the returning favorites and the addition of a new yoga option. Madeline, our yoga instructor, will be introducing a new mid-morning yoga class during the second session, held on Friday mornings from 10 to 10:45. High Fitness will also be returning in the second session as we welcome Hannah back from her maternity leave. We are thrilled to have her rejoining our team. Our core lineup of classes will continue to be available throughout the summer, including spinning, stretch and tone, strong mom, and yoga.
And we have a date change with the beer garden.
We sure do. So it was originally scheduled, our first beer garden of the year was scheduled for May 16th. We have now taken the opportunity to shift that up to this Friday, May 9th. There were conflicts with the date on May 16th, and I got in touch with all the vendors, and they all agreed, they all had the availability to move it up, so we did so. And with the looks of the weather forecast for Friday, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Thus, this Friday from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Centennial Park, we'll have food served by Buddha Belly Pizza out of Jefferson, Wisconsin, beverages from Brewed Omen, and the music of Tom Winkers. Will all be available 5:30 to 8:30. It is a free event. It's an event open to anyone that would like to attend. There's a rumor that Todd Rusniak would buy the first round, but I can't confirm that.
It is unconfirmed to this
Okay.
point.
Somewhere else.
I think this is when you can use your alternate here.
Nice,
You want right to the bullpen?
nice. Moving on to adult and youth sports, update on youth ball, besides
So,
umpires.
Now you know the umpires. So our season kicks off with Sandy Koufax on May 19th. That is our first game. Everything else starts after Memorial Day at Indy, but we do have a few teams starting that week at other fields. So our traveling teams for baseball and softball have been practicing since last week. And then all of the non-travel leagues of Diamond and Rookie Ball all start next week, and then for practices, and then all games start after Memorial Day for them. So right now, we're looking good with, all of the teams have been contacted, everything's running smoothly. We have our T-ball meeting next week, Thursday, and then we'll be all cylinders going forward. So looking forward to a great season.
All right, thanks, Melanie. Moving on to aquatics, we'll start off with Vets Aquatic Center and the summer schedule.
Opening day for VMAC is set for Saturday, May 31st this year. We will have reduced hours from June 2nd through June 6th as schools wrap up their school years. So during that week, open swim will run 4 o'clock to 7 p.m. Morning hours will begin June 9th, including swim lessons, lap swim, lazy river walking, and toddler swim. Night swims will once again be held on Thursday evenings from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. starting June 12th. This summer, we are also trialing a new family night swim on select Saturday nights, which is aimed more towards welcoming families with younger children compared to our traditional night swims. These will be held on June 14th, July 12th, and August 9th. Each of these will be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. More details of these events will be shared on our Facebook pages as we get closer to the start of the season.
All right, and a seasonal pass sale report.
VMAC season passes are now available at the Rec Center. There is an early bird sale going on now through the end of May. That'll be $5 off individual passes, $10 off family passes. Passes can be purchased all summer at the Rec Center during office hours, so I'll stress that, Rec Center only. Even once the pool is available, passes can only be purchased at the Rec Center, and that's Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 5:45 p.m., and then Fridays, 7 a.m. to 4:45 p.m.
All right, summer swim lesson report.
We are offering 112 classes at the outdoor pool this summer. The first outdoor session starts on June 9th. Initial numbers are looking good, but there are still spots available in every level.
And those class signups, can those be done online, or is that in-person stuff, Randy?
That can all be done online. So through our website, you'll be able to register. You can also stop in. You can mail them in, and you can, even after hours, if you so choose, you can drop off in our drop box at night.
Okay. And a maintenance update at Vets Aquatic Center.
Yes, so a couple of projects that we had going on there. First, the exterior painting of the slides, that was completed last week. And we expect the completion of the painting of the pool shell itself to be completed by the end of the week. So the weather this week is certainly helping us out. So both of those projects are ending on time for us, and that will lead us to begin filling the pool on Monday. So we've notified the water utilities that that'll be taking place. So that is all work that has been done outside of our staff, our in-house maintenance staff. Some of the projects they've been working on, they removed the failed pillars with the rope just outside the bathhouse. A lot of those were rotted through, so those have been removed. Staff has also worked on patching those holes. Staff has also repaired the sitting wall within the zero depth area. That's been a yearly maintenance issue for us. We brought out a local mason this spring to look at it so we can get a permanent fix for that, or a better fix to get budgeted for next year. The shades have also been installed, and then various other mechanical and prep for the season has been done. So a big step will be filling the pool, testing out some of the pumps. So the pool mechanicals, you never know if that's going to work. Obviously, we do preventative maintenance. We winterize them, so we do all we can to expect a good result. With a newer pool, We don't anticipate issues, but we always prepare for them and budget for them as well. And everything that we've done for the pool leak from last year, I feel even more confident now that those issues will be resolved as well.
Nice. All right, the Hartford Family Aquatic Center, sponsored by the Lutz Family Foundation. We have a summer swim lesson report there.
So there, we are offering 48 total classes at the indoor pool this summer. The first lessons will start on May 28th, and there are still plenty of openings in all those levels for kids to get signed up.
Are we behind on those registrations, or?
I don't think so. The outdoor registration is always more popular than the indoor. So indoor has a tendency to lag behind, obviously, the outdoor. But as far as being fearful that we're missing our marks, no, not at this time.
Okay. All right, parks, staff reports. We're gonna talk about the park project report first.
Park project report will be mainly the other points we have in here, but I will update. I've been in contact with Hartford Pro Painters. If you remember correctly, they were hired last year, late last year, to do the painting of Willowbrook Medium Shelter and the West Side Park Pavilion to repaint the red roofs.
Yep.
They are still scheduled to do that. I've been in contact with them, and they're planning on starting their work the week of May 19th. As far as other tasks staff has been working on, other than what I'll mention here shortly, burials have been steady. We had 6 of those. Of course, with May 1st happening, that was the official opening of our park season. So prepping the bathrooms and the shelters for the rental season. A lot of work went to that, and continuing tree trimming and mulch work as well into the parks.
All right, let's move on to the West Side Park dugout report.
So for the most part, structurally, the dugouts were completed last week. That finished up, I want to say, a week ago Thursday, with the siding being installed on the visitors' dugout. With that, a couple items that still need to be taken care of, which number one would be staining the interior tongue and groove to get a protective coat on that. I've been in touch with Scott about adding a helmet and bat storage into both of those dugouts. So thank you, Scott, for those resources. I had reached out to Scott to see what he had in mind, and he gave me multiple options, so I appreciate that. And the last item we wanted to add was electrical to the home dugout. As a matter of fact, I talked to Brian Rhodes with Hartford Utilities today. Let me know what the number would be on materials. Of course, they always donate their time and efforts with their staff to do the work. I was planning on this being a fall project. I did not get a timeline from Brian, just because we want to avoid conflicts with anything else going on out there. But those are the 3 things we still have set to do with as it concerns the dugouts.
The dugouts themselves look really, really nice.
Great.
Really,
Thank
really
you.
nice.
No, I think Zerns did a great job. I did not pick out any of the colors or any of that. Zerns had handled that. Zerns will be putting up a donation sign. I believe it's going to hang on the center post above. I think it's only going to be like a 12-inch by 12-inch sign. And namely, it will have our department logo on it with their name. Just giving them a little bit of credit. So tastefully done. Nothing outrageous.
Really nice. Pickleball court report.
Last week, city staff broke ground on the new 6-court complex. You will see a picture of that in your packet. To help reduce costs, city staff did the excavation work ahead of Poblocki Paving Corporation of New Berlin beginning their portion of the project. Rough site work was completed earlier this week, and Poblocki is scheduled to be on site next week to perform final grading, paving, and then painting of the courts, and finally landscape work, repair work around the courts as well. Barring weather delays, construction is scheduled to be completed by the end of June. We've built in a little buffer with that, so to answer your previous question on the fences, that's when we would anticipate the fence work being done. So in a perfect world, that last half of June, we can get the fence work in. Again, I don't know what Century's timeline is until I officially talk with them after council approves their contracted bid. As I said previously, we would open the courts without the fencing being installed. It would be a short shutdown to perform that fence work. And then we would plan a ribbon cutting ceremony during July. I don't want to give a specific date yet because there's a lot that can happen between now and July as far as weather. I'm not concerned with the contractors. So as we get to June, I'll have a tentative date in mind for ribbon cutting and to invite out our many donors. Again, the $160,000 that was budgeted is now covered completely by donations. We still plan on putting in that seating area. But when we do our ribbon cutting, we'll invite out, obviously this body will be invited to come on out for the photo op and the ribbon cutting, and then we hope to have our donors down there as well. Part of that project too will be having a donation sign. There'll be individual signs on each court for those that had donated enough for court sponsorship, and then we'll have an overall donor sign with everybody's names on it. Still an opportunity to donate, especially for the seating area, benches, tables, possibly even naming rights to the seating area too, if you choose to go that far with it.
All right. And we have an Arbor Day report.
Yes, in honor of Arbor Day, the Hartford Parks and Rec Department collaborated on a tree planting event with the local Scout Pack 3794 and also volunteer city forester Corey Gritzmarker on Friday, April 25th. 3 trees were planted at Homestead Park by park staff, and then the Scout Pack members placed mulch and watered the trees. All while Mr. Gritzmacher gave a short tutorial on the benefits that trees offer our community and the world. It was a short ceremony because it was cold, windy, and rainy. And unlike previous Arbor Days where they're also cold, windy, and rainy, we didn't have any shelter at Homestead Park.
But we're working on it.
Soon,
Right, yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Yes, end of the year. Hope to have that.
All right. Any commission requests tonight? Anything on your mind? Anything you'd like to see? Thanks again to John Klavacek for his service on the commission and work with the department. Anything else tonight? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Motion by Joel,
Second.
second by Chris. All in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.